Hello and welcome to New Fast Food. We've got a lot of fast food news today, including some incredible new milkshakes are arriving soon at Baskin Robbins. Some new and returning items are coming soon to Carl's Jr and Hardee's, and the Dunkin Donuts promotional items for August have already leaked. I've got them. We're going to talk about them all. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Plus, you'll also want to hit that notification bell, so therefore you'll always be notified when I release new videos. And before we get started into the news today, I do want to acknowledge one last time that the nacho fries are officially back at Taco Bell. They came back yesterday. Also yesterday, Taco Bell dropped the sequel to their Web of Fries promo video. So remember, the first time the nacho fries came out, they released a short video called Web of Fries, which was done in the style of a movie trailer. Sort of focuses around how Big Burger is trying to keep fries out of Taco Bell restaurants. So they made a Web of Fries 2 for the return of nacho fries, and I watched it. I do like it. I do think it's pretty well done. I think I do prefer the original Web of Fries to this new sequel one. Also, the sequel is only about half as long. It comes in at only a minute, whereas the first one was about a minute and a half, minute 40, somewhere in there. Anyways, check it out. I think it is highly entertaining. It's a good use of one of your minutes out of the day. With that, let's get started and take a look at these crazy new milkshakes that are available at Baskin Robbins. They're actually called Freak Shakes because they're so freaky. These are going to be available starting this Sunday, July 15th, which just happens to be National Ice Cream Day. And these are all an extension to their recently released Sunday milkshakes. So basically the Sunday milkshake is a milkshake with an extra scoop of ice cream on top. That's sort of what makes it a Sunday. So these ones have that. They have the milkshake, they have the extra scoop of ice cream, and they also have all these other crazy toppings. Well, let's break them down one by one. These things look amazing. So this first one is called the Unicorn Freak Shake, and take a look here. This one definitely is the most colorful actually, because it's got that rainbow airheads thing around the top there. So it's basically cotton candy ice cream, cotton candy milkshake, and then you see it actually has a stick of cotton candy thrown in there, and then a sugar cone, a cherry on top, whipped cream, and that rainbow airheads candy strip. That's what adds a lot of the color here. And you see that white stuff in there, that's actually a marshmallow topping to give it that kind of cool swirl look on the inside of the cup. Okay, so then from there they have what they're calling the Oreos and Cookies Freak Shake. This one is cookies and cream ice cream, cookies and cream milkshake, and then you see it's got some Oreo cookies thrown in there on the top, and then a cookies and cream polar pizza. That's what they call that little, looks like kind of a cheesecake, but it's not. It's a polar pizza. And it's got the sugar cone on the back end there, and then hot fudge drizzled on the inside of that cup. And this last one is only available at Dunkin Donuts locations. So those are or co-branded locations. So locations that have both a Baskin Robbins and a Dunkin Donuts. They get this one. It's called the Donut Shop Freak Shake, and it has Jamocha almond fudge ice cream with a Jamocha almond fudge milkshake, and then it's got the chocolate donut, the donut holes, and the sugar cone, the cherry, and the hot fudge drizzle on the inside of there. So again, that one is only available at the locations that are co-branded with the Dunkin Donuts, which I find that kind of interesting, by the way. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But what I wanted to talk about first is, remember a couple episodes ago, I was talking about the importance of fast food restaurants' promotional items to be Instagram worthy. And I mentioned that when I was discussing the Dairy Queen Star Spangled Blizzard. Remember, that thing looked really cool, sort of similar to kind of some of these, although these are even more over the top. So the trend right now is that people see these cool creations available at restaurants, fast food restaurants, and they want to be the first ones to go out, rush out, and not only try it, but take a picture of themselves trying it and post it to social media. I sort of tried to illustrate that with my Taco Bell steak nacho box compilation video, where I just took basically 200 pictures that were posted to social media of the Taco Bell steak nachos box. And these new Freak Shakes from Baskin Robbins fit perfectly into that category. These things are so colorful, so over the top, that people are going to want to go out, rush out and try these, not just to try them, but also to post pictures of themselves trying them. So this is where we kind of see a return of these sort of over-the-top items. They were actually pretty popular, I'd say maybe 10, 15 years ago, sort of these really over-the-top not so much over the top as we're seeing now, but pretty over the top items. And then people started to realize, hey, these items are pretty fattening. I shouldn't be eating these, and they stopped rushing out and getting them. But now, with Instagram and social media basically taking over, people are rushing out, again, not just to try them, because they don't really care the calorie content of them. They're not really there to eat them as a meal. They're there just to get their picture taken, and if they only eat half of it or less, they don't care. They got their picture. It's all good. So again, these aren't available quite yet. They're going to be available this Sunday, July 15th, as part of National Ice Cream Day. Also, the month of July is National Ice Cream Month, and so Baskin Robbins has a bunch of promotions going on throughout the month. This is the first time I'm covering Baskin Robbins on this channel, so let me know whether you like me covering Baskin Robbins or if you'd like me to skip it. They're not really one of the top fast food restaurants out there, but they're in the top 50, and they actually have 2,500 locations, which is more than Chick-fil-A. So, they're not a small chain by any stretch of the imagination. And before we move on, I want to go back and touch on something that came up a little bit earlier, and that's that, one of these Freak Shakes is available only at locations that are co-branded with Dunkin Donuts. And I found that very interesting, because in my area, there are no Baskin Robbins that are share a store with Dunkin Donuts. It's not surprising. We don't have a lot of Dunkin Donuts around here, but I thought it was interesting because there are a lot of Baskin Robbins in my area that are co-branded or share the same store with Togo's sandwiches. And I always thought that was kind of confusing for me, because of course Baskin Robbins is a national chain. Togo's is just regional here in California. So I always kind of sort of wondered why there was Togo's and Baskin Robbins together. They didn't seem like a very good fit. It makes me wonder what other restaurants Baskin Robbins shares a store with in other areas. So I'd be curious to know, in your area, if you have Baskin Robbins and they aren't standalone stores, but they share a location with another restaurant, what other restaurants share locations with Baskin Robbins? I just would be very interested to find out, because I'm interested. So let me know in the comments down below. And this Sunday, be sure to run out and grab one of these Baskin Robbins Freak Shakes and be the first one of your friends to post it online. Next up, we got some new items at Carl's Jr and Hardee's. Well, some of it's new and some of it's actually returning. So what I found out is that Carl's Jr is going to be bringing back their sliders. Remember, they had sliders earlier this year. They've been gone not even very long. I think they've only been gone a month or two, but they're bringing them back. They must have been very successful, so they're bringing them back. The sliders are going to be returning, looks like sometime next week. It looks like they're doing sort of a slow rollout, where there's not going to be like a nationwide, everyone gets them at the same time. I've heard some places are getting them as early as the 17th, which would be next Tuesday. And then I've heard places that are getting them as late as the 23rd, or don't even know when they're getting them yet. But they are coming back to all Carl's Jr.'s and Hardee's. If you like them and you missed them now that they're gone, good news for you, they're coming back. And then the new item that's coming to Carl's Jr. and Hardee's is a Mocha Milkshake. So this is self-explanatory. It's basically just a mocha flavored milkshake. It's going to be replacing the Jolly Rancher milkshake. So if you haven't had the Jolly Rancher milkshake, make sure you run out and try that. That's going to be leaving as soon as the Mocha Milkshake comes on board. So those two things, the sliders and the Mocha Milkshake, those two things are definitely coming to Carl's Jr. And then I've also heard a rumor that a new budget burger is coming soon. I don't know any details about that one. I don't know if it's a $1 burger, $1.50 burger. I don't know yet. But I think it's very interesting if that is true. Remember, it's just a rumor. I think it's very interesting if that's true, that they will be rolling out a new budget burger at about the same time as they're bringing back the sliders. Because, of course, the sliders are $1. You would think a budget burger would be about $1. Why would someone get a slider for $1 when they could get a full-size, not a premium burger, but a full-size budget burger for $1? That's what baffled me about the sliders in the first place, because a lot of places have $1 burgers, and here Carl's Jr. is trying to sell a $1 slider. Didn't make a lot of sense to me price-wise, but I think a lot of customers must have disagreed, because otherwise they would not be bringing back the sliders. Unless it's a case where they're just making so much money off of each slider because they're selling them for $1 and they're so small that they don't have to sell a lot to make money off of them. But I think it's the opposite. I think that the sliders actually were pretty popular. If you check out other videos on YouTube, people really liked the sliders, especially the double one. People were kind of thought that the single one was too small, the triple one was too big, but a lot of people said that double one was in true Goldilocks fashion just right. And last up, Dunkin Donuts just launched their donut fries a couple of weeks ago, and now I already have found out what their new items are going to be for August. So these items are going to be available starting July 30th. So actually the last couple days of the month, you'll be able to start getting these new items. And if these look familiar, it's because a lot of them are the same as were tested along with the donut fries. So remember the donut fries, first, before they came out this month, they were tested back in April, and back then they were testing them as part of a $2 snack menu. They called it the Gotta Have It $2 snack menu. At that time, there were 7 items available on the $2 menu, and now Dunkin Donuts has rebranded it as the $2 Dunkin Run menu, and they've narrowed it down to 5 items. So we see here the pretzel bites, waffle breaded chicken tenders, ham and cheese roll-ups, fudge brownie, and donut fries. So the 2 items that did not make the cut are the munchkin dippers and the warm cookies. Somehow these ham and cheese roll-ups made the cut. I'm not sure how that happened. There's no way that those, at least in my mind, there's no way that those are going to be popular at all. They just look so terrible. It's one of the few items that have come out since I started this channel that just looked absolutely horrible. And I don't know how out of all, after going through testing, that the ham and cheese roll-ups made the cut. But they did. They'll be there along with the donut fries, the fudge brownie, which is actually comes pre-packaged, frozen, and they just thaw it out and give it to you. The waffle breaded chicken tenders, I think that is the most interesting out of all of these. And then the pretzel bites and mustard, which has changed a little bit from since they tested it back in April. It used to be sort of round pretzel bites, which I thought were really interesting. A little bit different than sort of standard pretzel bites, and they came with honey mustard sauce. And now they're changing it so that they're coming with just a packet of spicy mustard, it looks like. And also the shape of the pretzel bites are more of the rectangular sort of standard pretzel bites, which I don't find those as exciting anymore. I don't find the brownie as exciting anymore now that I know that it's just frozen and pre-packaged. It doesn't look like it's even warmed up for you. Obviously, you know where I stand on the ham and cheese roll-ups. The donut fries I think are cool. The waffle breaded chicken tenders I think are cool. Those are the ones that I think are going to be the most popular here. And what's interesting is that most of the Dunkin Donuts promotional items run either for a month or 2 months or 3 months. These ones are running for 5 months, but basically it's July 30th through December 30th. But then you see at the bottom there it says all products are available while supplies last. So I guess they just send them a bunch of boxes of this stuff, and then once it runs out, it runs out. I'm not really sure how Dunkin Donuts, what they mean by that. If they mean that they actually are supposed to be available through the end of the year, but if they run out earlier, then they run out earlier, or if they just, you know, like I said, send them all out, and then whenever you run out, you run out. But don't serve them past December 30th because they'll probably be expired. So that's enough out of me. Now it's up to you to continue the conversation down below. I want to know, what do you guys think of all this Baskin Robbins stuff? Are you excited about these new freak shakes, or do you think they're just over the top, too gimmicky? Do you like it when I cover Baskin Robbins stuff? Could you do without it? And which restaurant shares a location with Baskin Robbins in your area? Is it Togo's? If you're in California, it probably is. Is it Dunkin Donuts, or is it something else? Let me know, all you fast food foodies and drive-through cuties. Thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time tuning in, consider subscribing. We talk about fun stuff like this twice a week. I release new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and you can watch more right now.